Adam gave to King David 70 years of his life. We're going to learn here that David was supposed to be, David was supposed to be born dead. He was supposed to be stillborn. It was too holy. The Satan wouldn't let King David be born. That's what it says. They have to understand how that can be also, but we'll see. Sha'aram Arishon, let's do it from the beginning of the line. Third line from the bottom of the page. First word, Sha'aram Arishon, that abbreviation is Adam Harishon, the first man. Natan gave LeDavid to King David. Ayin Shana, 70 years, Mishalo, of his own, of his life. Kisher Her'eh, when there was shown, lo, to him, HaKodesh Baruch Hu, when God showed to him, to Adam, God showed to Adam, door, each generation, umanhigav, and its leaders. When Adam was created, God showed Adam all of the generations that were going to come and the leaders. Vara'ah, and he saw, Adam saw, David, Shahaya, that he was, Bar Nafla, I think it's pronounced Nafla, or Nafil or Nafla, that he was supposed to be a miscarriage. Bar Nafla, he was supposed to be born dead. I don't know if that's the word, miscarriage is the right word, but stillborn. Oh. Va'al Cain, therefore, so Adam gave him 70 years. So that how long did King David live? 70 years. King David lived 70 years. These 70 years he got from Adam. Al Cain, therefore, chasrulo. There were missing from him, from Adam was missing. Ayin Shana, 70 years. Adam was missing 70 years. Mishnei, from the years chayav of his life.
Adam was a visionary, and he was able to see that King David will be the king, so he parted with it 70 years.
Right. Not it was a visionary. God showed him. God showed him all the future. Right.
David will be the king.
One second. He saw the King David. But he saw that King David was going to be dead. How could he change it? That's what he saw. God showed him the future. So he saw King David is going to be dead. Adam should have said, okay, what can I do? God's showing me what. Adam said, hey, Hashem, run that film back a little bit. I want to see something over here. Who is this? Why is this baby born dead? God said, come on, you know how many babies there are in the world? Another baby. I said, no. I want him to be alive. God said, listen, I already showed you the movie. It's in the box offices already. I mean, it's in the cinema. I can't edit it now, right? He said, it's not in the box offices. This thing is going to happen in another 2,000 years. I want him to live. God said, what do you want me to do? That's the way it's going to be. Adam said, you know what? Give him 70 years from my life. Give him 70 years. God said, so, okay, Dad, right, I never thought you would do a thing like that. Okay, that changes things a little bit. You're willing to really give 70 years of your life? He said, yeah. He says, okay, good. That's it. So he gave him 70 years of his life. Then he lived 70 years less. Adam he was supposed to live 1,000 years old. He lived 930 years. Missing 70 years. Says, he was missing 70 years of his life. Mishnei Chayav, from the days of his life. Shahayu, that they were ru'im, supposed or fitting, lihiyot, to be elef shana. They were supposed to be 1,000 years. Good? Pretty interesting, huh? Well, that's only the beginning. Listen to this. Umavor b'Zohar, it's explained in the Zohar. What's explained in the Zohar? Parashas Vayishlach, page Kuf Sameches, Amud Aleph, page 168, on the first side of the page. Shegam, that also Ha'avos, the forefathers, we'll see it's Avram and Yaakov and Yosef, we'll see. The Avram, the Avos, Natnu gave lo to him. They gave also to King David ayin shana 70 years. Huh? Avram, period. After shana. After the word shana is a period. Or a colon. Avram, Abraham, Shavak gave. No problem. Avram, Shavak, a lot of times, I think I speak in front of crowds sometimes. I speak. And there's always somebody who forgets to turn off his cellular phone. It starts playing some sort of rock and roll music or something like that. And I always say, and everybody goes, shh, they turn to the person. And I say to the person, the person always feels bad. He's looking off the thing. And I always say, oh, don't answer it. I love that song. Everybody laughs. Right? So, I love that song. Don't answer them. Makes the person feel better, and then he turns it off. King David got 70 years from Abraham. He got 70 years from Adam. But he also got from Abraham and from Yaakov and from Yosef. Altogether, he got another 70. That's what the Zohar says. He got that the Avos, Abraham, the forefathers, gave him also 70 years. Avraham Shavak Le gave to him, turn the page over, gave to him Chamesh Shanim, 5 years. See, you with me, Moshe?
Yes.
Avram gave him 5 years. Tahavele, that he was supposed to, Tahavele, that he was supposed to let Kaima live. Abraham was supposed to live Meya V'Tamnin 180, this is Aramaic, 180 Shanim years. Ve'et Kayam, but instead he lived Meya V'Shivim V'Chamesh. He lived 175 Shanim years. Chaserin, missing, Chamesh, 5. Yaakov, we'll see why Yitzchak didn't give him any life. We'll see why. Because Yitzchak his life was too severe. We'll see. Yaakov, Jacob, Havele, should have, Litkayim, lived, Ba'alma, in this world, Keme Avraham, like the life of Avraham. For lo et Kayim, but he did not live, Ella, except Meya 100 va'arba'im v'sheva. Yaakov was supposed to live 175 years, just like Abraham did. But he didn't. He only lived 147 years. How many is missing? Chaserim, it's missing Tamnia ve'esrin. 28 years. That's a pretty big gift. Yaakov gave him 28 years of his life, a very big percentage of his life, bigger percentage than what Adam gave him. Less years, but a bigger percentage. 28 years Yaakov gave of his life for David. Yosef, the Ekayim, that he actually lived Me'ah ve'eser. He lived, Yosef in fact lived 110 years. Havele, he should have Litkayima lived Kuf Mem Zayin. He should have lived 147 years like Yaakov did. But he didn't live that long. V'chaser min hon, he removed from them Toltin Shanim. He removed from them, he was supposed to live 147, but he only lived 110. Removed, in other words, he gave also to King David Toltin Shanim, Toltin V'Sheva Shanim, 37 years. So let's add this up. 1 second. We have what? That he gave him 37 years. Yosef, Yosef gave him 37 years. Yaakov gave him 28 years. And Abraham gave him 5 years. Add it all up together, how much does it come out to? 30, let's do it again. 37 and 28 is what? 65. And Abraham gave him 5, that's 70. So altogether he got 70 years. Adam got 70 years from the fathers. Hey, what's going on? What did he do? He like selling the same house twice. How did he do this? He got already 70 years from Adam, and now he got 70 more years from the out. Why did he need so many? Behold, what was this? Behold, Shivim, this is the 70 years, the Shavku that were given lay to him, to who? To David, Malka, the king. Let Kayama to live Bahonanim. Good? That's all the Midrashim. We finished. V'yesh lahafli, and we should be surprised. Ma inyan, what is the purpose, kefel, of doubling? Kefel means to double. See, we have more. You have the very good. Kefel. What's the purpose of doubling? Ha'ayin, the 70. Ayin is number 70, right? Ayin is number 70. Each letter in the Hebrew alphabet has a numerical value. So Aleph is 1, Yud is 10, Ayin is 70. Why do we have to double these 70 years? Shenatnulo, that were given to him, Adam v'Havos, Adam and the fathers. Umadua, and why? Lo chai, why is it that he only lived? Ki'im, in Hebrew, lo, that he did not, chai, live. Why? What? Madua, why? Madua. Lo hachai. Why did he not live? Ki'im, except Ayin Shana, 70 years. Why did King David only live 70 years? The lechaora, that at first glance, haya, it was tzarich liot, necessary to be Yamei Chayav, the days of his life, Kuf Mem Shana, 140 years. He got 140. Why did he only use 70? He should have lived 140 years. Kafi, according to Hashanim, the years, Shen Nechsru, that were lacking. Me, from Chaye, the life of Adam, the Avos, and the forefathers. Question mark. Exclamation mark. Right? What's going on over here? What now? This whole thing that the Rebbe brought, this question, is to explain to us the uniqueness of King David on all the other kings. How King David had this extra measure of chachma, the extra measure of surrender to God, that he could even bring it directly to everybody. This is going to explain it, right? King David's life was really 2 levels of life. It was 70 years that the fathers gave him, and there was also, in that same 70, was also 70 years of Adam, and we'll see what's going on. We'll see. The Rebbe is going to explain. Ve'ayinyan. So the explanation. What's the explanation? Because Adam Arishon, the first man, Adam, who is Bechin at the level of Chachmi Iloh Datzilus. Adam was this level which is called the upper Chachma, the upper wisdom or the upper surrender of Atzilut, of Atzilus. What does Atzilut mean? Near. What? Nearness? No. Yeah, true, but Atzilut is, it means nearness and it means emanation. La'atzel. So it says, what is Atzilut? We explained this before. There are in general what we call 4 worlds. These 4 worlds are really, for lack of a better word, 4 dimensions. 4 dimensions. There's 4 dimensions of reality of God. So The lowest awareness of God is in the world of Asiya. A greater awareness and a totally different dimension, a greater awareness of God is Yetzirah. A greater awareness of God, even a greater dimension, that's Bria. And the greatest awareness of God, if you want to call it awareness of God, is the world of Atzilut. The Rebbe once gave an example. What is it like? If you ever learn geometry? Geometry. So in geometry, there are certain definitions. For instance, there's what's called a point, a line, a plane, and a cube. Right? I explained this before, but it's a beautiful explanation. It's the Rebbe's explanation. A point, a line. What's the definition of a point? A point is where two lines cross. A point has no dimensions. A point has no height. It's got no length. It's got no depth. A point has no dimensions whatsoever. Right? What's a line? A line is a totally different dimension, a higher dimension. A line is only length. It has no height and it has no depth. It's only length. How many points can you put into a line? Infinite number of points. Because a point has no length to it. A point, and what is it like? It's like taking a line and dividing that line, putting lines through it. How many lines can you put through a line? An infinite number, because a line has no length, has no width to it. So it's like almost the same thing as saying, how many times can you divide the number 1? I mean, infinite number of times, right? Divide a half, blah, blah, blah. Again, there's no number. So a line is an infinite number of points. Right? So you can put an infinite number of points in a line. Then there's what we call a plane. A plane has two dimensions. A plane has length, and it also has height, or width, or whatever you want to call it. Width. So here we have, it's like this and like this. How many lines can you draw through a plane? Right? Infinite number of lines. Understand? Because a line has no height to it. So you can take a plane and make an infinite number of lines, one next to another. You can divide it infinitely, infinitely, infinitely small. Good? Because then we have another dimension which is called a cube. A cube has also depth to it. Right? You can put an infinite number of planes. You can slice a cube an infinite number of times with a plane, because a plane has no depth to it. No depth, zero depth. If it has 0, so that you can divide it infinitely. So if so, you can put an infinite number of lines in an infinite number of points in a line, and an infinite number of lines in a plane, and an infinite number of planes in a cube. Right? Understood? Or not? You think you get it? So that's something like the 4 worlds. To imagine. Right? Of course, this is only just a geometrical example, but it sort of gives us the example. A point is the world of Asiya. That's us. We have 0 awareness of God. A point, no line. The higher world, which is above us, is an infinitely greater awareness of God. It's like a line. Right? It's like a line. Infinite more awareness of God than what we have. The level above that is the world of Yetzirah. Above that is the world of Bria. Bria is like the world of a plane. It has infinitely greater awareness of God. In the world of Bria, infinitely greater, it's infinitely more real, if you want to call it, than the world of Yetzirah. Yetzirah is just a line. This is a plane. Then we have the world of Atzilus. Atzilus is like the cube. Atzilus is an infinitely greater awareness of even Bria. Right? So if so, the highest world, with this Atzilus, it contains all of the worlds below it. In other words, the world of Atzilus contains an infinite number of planes, which contains an infinite number of lines, which contains an infinite number of points. So, how many lines, what do we say, how many points can you put into a line? How many? Infinite. How many lines can you put in a plane? Infinite. How many planes can you put in a cube? And how many points can you put in a cube? More infinite. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense. So we see that to this world, it makes no sense what is God. It makes no sense. It's like a point trying to understand what is a cube. Can't understand. So, I know what a cube is. A cube is infinite. No. Infinite is a line is infinite. Okay, so it's infinitely greater than the next world. No, that's a plane. That's a plane. I understand. It's infinitely greater than infinite. I don't understand what's going on. Let's have a beer. That's maybe better, I think, right? It's just too mind-boggling. Right? But this, we shouldn't get, let's not get too, what do you say, Hinduized or something, but this thing. God is not this infinite thing that we can't, he's just so infinite we can't fathom him. He just don't know. You have to know, this same God, he creates us and he cares about us and he answers our prayers. And this God has a personality and he cares about the world and he's kind and he's loving and he provides for everyone. We say, Tov Hashem Lakal, that God loves everybody. Everybody's kind. So this God is not some sort of a big, life is meaningless and everything is just a big dream. No. In the end, this point is really the most important thing to God. That's what King David realized. Okay, now, how was it that King David had this power that nobody else has? We're going to learn it tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.